I'm deaf. How are you? The volume in my headphones is astronomically loud. Uh, so bear with me for 1 second because I can't do the rest of the show like this. And you know what? I'm going to have to. Hi, how are you? It's Bondzee. It sounds so fucking loud in my headphones. Oh, well, it's been a crazy day, folks. And I don't like to do this. I really don't. But here's what happened. I'm feeling better. Thanks for asking. I love you too. But I'm feeling better. Old Bondzee went to the gym. Old Bondzee went to goddamn golf. I golfed today, 18 holes with my boys. Big shout out to Rob. I think he's watching. He said, I'm gonna watch it tonight, Mister. And I met some new friends today, and they said they're gonna watch tonight too. So I hope you like old Bondzee Live. It's Bondzee Live on Tripping with Bondzee on YouTube and on the Dean Blundell Network. It's Friday night. The Jays are playing. They're up 6-0. How in the holy hell are you on a Friday? I'm pretty good. I am. I got the golf today. I'm not lying. I really did. But there it is too. What was it called? Where'd I play? Fuck, I don't even remember. I tagged it. Oh, let me go. So I can do this right now. I'll tell you. I played at Desert Falls Country Club. Sounds all fancy and stuff. Kind of was. I know the course looks a little brown and grossish, if you will. But listen, we're in the right on the midst. So this is, say, their spring, if you will, in California, in the desert. So it's hot as a motherfucker here all summer, your summer. Well, it depends where you are. If you're watching, and I mostly speak to the peeps in Ontario because that's where my biggest audio viewership is from. Let's say hi to some people here first because I just like it's a hi, Gwen. Evening, Bondzee, she says. And of course, my boy Wade's always got something to say. Good evening and welcome to Bondzee Live. Please ensure your seatbelts are secure. Your seat is in the upright position and the catheter is fully installed. I missed my calling. I could have either worked at Canada's Wonderland, Walt Disney World, or I could have been a steward on one of them airplane thingies. Buckle in. This is the last words you ever want to hear on a plane. Believe me, you right now. Coming up. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hi, this is Captain Bondzee speaking. Please buckle your seatbelts, fasten in, and enjoy the flight. We may or may not get to our destination. Thanks for flying with Bondzee Airlines. Could you imagine? And you know what the funny thing is? I just saw this ad yesterday. Actually, I saw it a couple of weeks ago, and I actually made fun of it on the show. And then I saw it yesterday again. I don't know, somewhere. You know how they have those things that they're listening to you. Motherfuckers don't want that vaccine because you think it's got a chip. Think your phone's got you, clown. Motherfuckers know everywhere you are. They know everything you want. They know everything you like. If you like boys and you don't even think you like boys, they'll send you an advertisement for boys. Not that I know that, but I'm just saying. Because I just recently went bald. Motherfucker phone knows I went bald. I get so many advertisements for shave your head in it takes you 2 minutes, and it's just like this little gives me go all over your head, and all of a sudden your head is completely to the wood, just like that. They're listening. Every day. They're listening. How are you? I know. Listen, I'm excited today. I went golfing. It's been 5 weeks, 4 days, 18 hours, 5 minutes, and 14 seconds since Bald Bondzee got to go golfing. So, yes, it's been a great day. I'm excited. I smoked a lot of weed, took an edible, and I had a michelada. What's a michelada? Some of my Canadian friends ask. It's a concoction of clamato juice, spices, Tabasco, Worcestershire sauce, and a splash of beer, and it's delicious. My God. I highly recommend you go to Nicaragua or Costa Rica or wherever. Ask your local bar if they make a michelada because they're delicious. Hope you like them too, because I did. What else? Wade, thanks for watching. Firmway Rick is my boy watching in Florida. Rick, well, who knows? We'll keep this bus. Maybe why don't you start heading out this way to California? Stuck in Florida. Get that bus. The wheels need to be a rolling, mister. Let's go. All right. Speaking of wheels rolling, these wheels will be rolling shortly. Bondzee goes for his interview, like I said, on Monday to the immigration of the USA to see if they'll let me stay in this fine country. Hold on. Usually mute my mic, but I didn't. And Tuesday, windshields get fixed on the bus, and then the wheels be moving. We go round and round all the way to San Diego. We will. Always wanted to go to San Diego. It's bad. I don't even know why, where or when it ever came on my radar, but it did. And maybe it was the San Diego Chargers back in the day, and every time you watched a broadcast, every guy, the announcer would be, oh my God, he'd just literally be jerking off to how sexy San Diego was, and the stadium and the surroundings and the people and the bars and the views. I gotta go to San Diego. 2 reasons. Gonna get me air conditioning fixed. I am finally, because they have depot there. And if I talked about this already, that's okay. Not everybody listens at the same time, so fuck you if you heard it and you're bored. There's another show, and I don't care. Bye. But Bondzee's going to San Diego. Yes, these wheels have been stuck here we've been here, I think it's 2 months this Sunday. It is. And so my boys, my golfing friends, I got some pals here that I met. Well, I already knew them before getting here, but I never knew them physically, and now I do. And we've been golfing together for before I got me COVID vax nonsense, and then we golfed today, and we'll be golfing a couple more times before I roll. So I'm heading to San Diego until the country says yes, Bondzee, you can stay, or you bald-headed, weird-looking bastard, get the hell out. And if that's the case, I got me a plethora of options. I do. Maybe go home and say hi to mom and dad. Maybe not. It's a long way to go. But I do love Ontario and my old hometown. Maybe head up to old Edmonton and stay with Father Wade. I know him and Doe. They're on pins and needles waiting for old Bonzarelli to show up at their door. And then, listen, maybe there's a good reason to go to Edmonton, because guess what? Just south of there's this place called Calgary. Not sure if you've heard of it. Calgary Stampede, Calgary Flames. What else is your Calgary? What's your football team? I can't believe I can't remember this right now. How embarrassing. Oh, Bondzee. Edmonton, it wasn't Esco, it's Elks. Calgary. Oh, fuck. Wait, where are you? Help me.
Stampeders.
Thank you. Fuck, dude. What is it? Yeah, and anyways, there's a really pretty girl in Calgary too, and she said she likes me. Well, she didn't really say that. What am I doing? Bondzee, you how many micheladas did you actually have, mister? I only had one, but it had this weird half a beer too. I'm really trying to be conscious of my intake of alcohol. As you know, I'm struggling. But no, there's this girl. She was on Dean's show yesterday. No, she wasn't on it. She was just a fan, and she asked if I was single. And so I creeped her. But I didn't have to, because she's already works on the network, and she's going to be a guest on this show. It's a whole funny story. I can't wait to tell, but I'm not going to tell any more than that, because it's a nice teaser. I'll tell you this. Mars, go check her out on the Dean Blundell network. She's a funny motherfucker. And she's really pretty too. She's got a great podcast on the Dean Blundell network. It's called something Escape from Mars or something Mars. Anyways, that's all you need to know is Mars, M-A-R-Z. Go to Dean Blundell network and just check her out, because she's pretty and she's hot and she likes Bondzee, I think. What else? Golfing was fun today. We were out, had a great time. It was nice to get out. There's my boy. I can't thank that guy enough. He has been nothing but solid since I've been here. He's taken me golfing so many times. Doesn't allow me to pay half the time. He until about. I'm not going to tell this story, because it's not my story to tell, and I don't want to get him into trouble in case there's legal things pending. But he was a lovely general manager at a fine restaurant here, and now he's not. So we'll just leave it at that. But now he's having the greatest time. He's living his life. We're going to golf. We golf today. We're going to golf tomorrow. We're going to golf Sunday. And maybe Monday too. Oh, no, not Monday. Bondzie's got his big interview Monday. Whoa. Folks, I know, I don't get mad at me, okay? You're not my mom. You're not my dad, so you're not allowed to yell at me for not even 1 second. But I know you're all excited to have Reggie tonight, part 2, the firefighting years. Bill Cosby sent Reggie to Firefighting College, and we were going to hear all about it tonight. There's my boy. Guess what? Wah, wah, wah. My boy Reggie failed me tonight. And I made this deal with Reggie, and I'm not going to throw him under the bus or anything, but maybe I kind of am. Because the motherfucker said, I said, dude, we have to do this in concession, because when you do a show like this, people, like, you have to keep consistent. Part 1, Friday. Part 2, I said, bro, can we do it Monday? You have 3 options, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 3 options, but we got to do it every week, because, like, we need to keep this rolling. It's a fun little new ditty that Bondzee's got going on Bondzee Live, on Tripping with Bondzee and the Dean Bullard Network. And guess what? Motherfucker let me down tonight. All day, yeah. Last night, good. Yeah, all day, good. 2 hours before a show, I'm going to drive to a new camp location, so I can't be on your show. Bro, what? Anyways, wasn't me. Blame Reggie, not me, motherfuckers, okay? So instead, guess what? Here's what you get. And not that it's a bad backup, because I love this guy, but he's the one that put it at the Bondzee, because I got in trouble for stealing Dean's other guests. So I'll just steal his co-host. Hi, James. Dude, I couldn't be more than happy. Look at, dude, we are literally twins. If I was sitting in the dark with the same background, nobody would be able to tell us apart. You need your microphone. Microphone, check 1, 2. James,
can you hear me? Mute.
There we go.
Muted. Yeah, okay. It's my first time on a podcast.
Yeah, apparently so. Motherfucker hosts his own podcast, is a part of the #1 or #2 podcast in Canada, and he comes on Bondzee Live and forgets to hit.
Yeah, I'm your Richard Simmons tonight, right? Because Letterman used to have Richard Simmons on when someone would cancel. So, I love it. You know what everyone loves to hear? An apology to the audience just before introducing your replacement guest. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Well, I'm only getting you back and it wasn't even done intentionally, but I do have to thank you. And you did compare yourself to Richard Simmons, and you did earlier and said, I'm happy to be your Richard.
Just because I have the same shorts that he used to wear.
Well, I kind of expected some shorts and a pink. I thought maybe you would have rated your wife's. How do you say that? Wife. So wardrobe.
Did you just say Wi-Fi? What are you talking about?
Wife. I thought you would have rated your wife's wardrobe and put on something frilly with your tight nipples hanging out and stuff to mimic.
I'm not really into that. I mean, I respect people that can get off in any way, shape, or form as long as it doesn't hurt other people. So if I could dress up like a woman and get off, I guess it would be okay. You'd have all the access to all materials,
You are pretty kinky, self-proclaimed, by the way.
Yeah, but I just, you know what? I'll even say one time as a joke, I wanted my girlfriend at the time to come into the house and just see me like cooking with a dress on, just because I thought it'd be hilarious. But I put it on and I caught a glimpse in the mirror and I'm like, no, I can't. That's a
you didn't even go there. You
relationship kind of thing, and it would tear. Like grandmothers would die hearing about it. It would be awful. Like the description of what I look like.
Hilarious. I love.
But it was a funny joke.
Well, there's a good joke by Ryan Lindley, our other resident fellow, who was part of the reason I got in trouble this week on Dean Blundell's podcast. As you know, and Ryan was funny enough to say, call John Kay last minute to be a fill-in. Ha. Funny joke.
To be James's fill-in. Okay, James, thanks for coming out. We're going to call someone else. We don't know who yet, but as long as you're asking, get the fuck out of here.
How are you, bro?
I'm okay.
Have you got to taste those wares that you've been harvesting lately? Because it is harvest season up in the Killaloe area.
I have changed drying locations, so I no longer have anything in my home or in the home of my family's because last night someone stole the alien weed,
Oh,
which really
no.
made me upset. Yep. So
How much did
out
you
of
lose?
out of one plant, so probably
Okay.
given what I've been able to yield so far, like 2 pounds, right? So
I mean,
it was just the most crazy purple, dark
how dare they?
weed I've ever seen. Like, and no one knew what it was because the seeds that I originally got were supposed to be, I think it was like BC Bud was 4 of them, and the other 4 were something else. And this is the only one. This is like the redheaded stepchild, the ginger or something, but purple. Right?
Have we partaken in any shroomy doomies tonight, Mr. James?
No,
No, not tonight. Are we?
every 2 weeks? Every 2
Okay.
weeks. Yeah, and I didn't do them for 2 months, and it was a really rough 2 months. I'm not getting like it was. I didn't get the reset that I wanted.
Why the 2-month break? Because I remember you mentioning this before, and you did take a heavy break. Was there a particular reason for that?
I just didn't feel like it. I just didn't. Sometimes I forgot that they existed. Oh yeah, shrooms. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, sure.
But
does it really help, James? And be honest.
Yes,
and
it does.
I'm pretty sure
it doesn't cause any problems. And it's just for me to decide.
With your writing is what I meant, because you're a writer extraordinaire.
No,
you write.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say you write brilliant books. Just even like everything, blogs, anything that you put pen to paper or fingers to keyboard comes out really nicely. Like, you're a brilliant writer. Does shrooms help with that? No, and I'm not even kissing your ass. I'm just saying, like, does shrooms enhance
I don't take compliments well. But
you don't.
Thank you for saying all those things that are probably not even close to being true.
They're fucking true. You know it.
I rush my work a lot. Anyways, the shrooms helps me rhyme. Like, I've sent you all of the stuff that I've ever recorded on shrooms, which is Get Beats and Was It Me, I think, are the 2 ones. And they, like, you can tell that something's going on. You know what I mean?
Is it the only time you rap now and get behind a microphone? Because you and I should have this. Well, I didn't know you were going to be a guest. This was last minute, but
yeah, go get it. We'll wait.
Prolific. Maybe Glassy can get it on.
No, they're all like files. Like, I'll send them to something. Okay.
My question is, like, you've been rapping since like way younger. And you are very talented at it as a white boy Eminem almost. And you sent me some.
Never
really
say
cool
that to me
shit.
again, Bondzee. Never say that to me again.
Sorry. My question. Stop interrupting.
So every white rapper loves it when someone calls them Eminem for something.
Well,
I'm not even saying he's bad.
It's not an ignorant comment.
You're a racist, man. You fucking hate white people. I know it.
I sure do.
Yeah.
Now you threw me off track, you bastard.
I do that.
You are a prolific writer, which translates into you have been a white boy rapper for a long time.
It's been like a really long time. There,
but you send me crazy stuff that is that only recorded? So my question is, and this is taking 10 minutes. Do you only record now when you're fucked up on shrooms, or is it something that when James is bored and just wants to get behind a microphone and goes and does his white boy, and because you got some chops?
Well, first of all, the first rhyme I ever wrote was when I was the day I turned 11. So that would have been like 1987 on my 11th birthday. And it was because my grandfather died on my birthday. And the year before that, 2 years before that, actually, 2 years before that, 1985, I heard this song called Lottie Dottie by Dougie Fresh and a person named MC Ricky D, who then went on to become Slick Rick, right?
Can you do Lottie Dottie? I have.
Oh, I can do Lottie Dottie. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Can you do a piece of it for us right now, please?
No, because that's lame, and everyone knows it is, because then the mic's gonna push it's gonna be.
But just back up a little bit, and I only ask this because one of my best friends in the entire world has done Lottie Dottie a couple times when I've hosted surprise birthday parties, this and that at our events.
I won't try hard though. Lottie Dottie, we like to party. We don't start trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're just some men that's on the mic. And when we rocking on the mic, we rock the mic. What? Okay, that's enough. That's
There,
enough of that.
dude. That's all I wanted. That's fabulous.
Hip hop is
stuff.
really afraid of doing covers too. So I don't want any MCs to be what the fuck. Slick Rick's all of a sudden getting his decrepit ass off his couch for the first time in 10 years. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this white boy doing this shit? Why is this happening? And I can't blame him. But yeah, as I started writing so long, Jesus fuck, how long ago is that then? 34 years I've been writing and recording.
And
but the
rapping into a microphone.
The pandemic, you know what it did? So in like March 2020, I started rapping and rhyming and writing for like an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, like 5 to 7 days a week until now. Like I'm still doing it.
Wow.
So I'm on this like Olympian schedule. And it's all just so I can make something called the Midlife Mixtape for my children. It's the only reason that I'm doing it.
Well, I like how you compared yourself to an Olympian. With
only the
doing
schedule
mushrooms and rapping.
Yeah, that's right. I have an Olympian schedule.
Because the
Olympians
do the same thing. They just do mushrooms and then they go cycle 45 kilometers.
Yeah, exactly. But the pandemic means that I can take my phone and just lean it against a desktop computer, which is what I do. And all the songs are recorded that way. And it's sort of like, I call it a pandemics because it's like so thrifty. And we couldn't leave the house for so long. So, so now I'm narrowing down the instrumentals that I want. I bought a few of them. And then I'm going to record on Devil's Night on October 30th. And I have 21 tracks and it's called the Midlife Mixtape. So that's that.
Dude, I can't wait to hear it because, and all jokes aside, I know we joke about this and white boy rapper stuff, but dude, you got some skill. I love when you send me the stuff, and I don't know if you send it to me as a joke because you're a hard guy to kind of figure out with your weird sense of humor and all. And you're not even liking Bondzee right off the bat, but now I feel like you really like me and you're sending this stuff and dude, I enjoy it and I do give you the kudos back for it. But so I hope that you're not even just doing this as a joke. I don't even know why your stuff isn't out there more because it's pretty cool, dude. Well, James or Glassy, were you able to pull anything? Does he have anything? No.
I just sent these two to your look at the private chat thing there.
Oh, okay.
Did you get that?
Glassy can take care of that probably for me. Yeah, he's got it. He gave me the thumbs up. Should be up in a second here.
We're not going to do that thing. Just promise me we're not going to do that thing where we sit there for 2.5 minutes just listening to the music. Like, wow.
No, we're just going to play
maybe like a verse.
We just want to hear like
just play both tracks back to back and fix the levels. You know.
There you go. And still to this day, one day you have to have a rap. What'd you call it? It's not a rap off.
I don't do that anymore. I want to say that up front. I tried to incorporate freestyling practice into all the other things that I was doing. And I'm just like, you know what? I have so much respect for that craft that I just don't want to do it publicly because I haven't been practicing. And freestyling is extraordinarily reliant on how often you do it. You know?
But you were good at it at one point, right?
Oh yeah. I was really good at it back in the day.
Yeah.
I was like White Man Can't Jump before the movie came out.
Okay, so riddle me this. How does one practice being a freestyle rapper? Like, do you look in the mirror and just go, well, holy shit, you're bald and you got blue eyes, your nostrils are huge and your lips are tight. Like, well, I don't even know. Like, how does one practice that?
Well, that's a good question. So I had the fortunate circumstance of growing up near these two guys named one Nigel Williams and Sheldon Christmas, and they are the MC and the DJ for the locally famous, wickedly talented acid jazz hip hop group called the Pocket Dwellers. And they were around from like I guess 98 to like 2010, something like that. Like that was their big time, I think. And they're like, you know, and Nigel especially is one of my closest friends, and he was the guy that Chaos credits teaching him to rhyme, right? But like these, and because Nigel and Chaos are cousins, so when we would freestyle, we'd go to Nigel's mom's basement, and Sheldon would take out these 12-inch records, and we would just stand in front, and they would just be like flashcards. And so it would be like, next, next, like, and we would just do flashcards. So whatever was on the cover could have been their clothing or the name or whatever you wanted to incorporate into your freestyle, and that's what you did. So.
Can you hear this?
Yeah, I can. I don't know if anyone else can.
No, they should be able to.
I was leaning against the wall because I couldn't stand, because I did a lot of shrooms that night, and so it felt like I was riding someone else's rapping.
But it's,
like, wow, it's pretty good.
You know what fascinates me about your plays in the background is when we talk, whether it's on the podcast or just FaceTime or on this show, I don't know, when you get behind the microphone, it's like I would never know put this voice, that pretty little face. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Am I wrong?
No, not at all. In fact, that's what I used to embrace that. Like when I used to perform in Toronto. I
just love how your songs, to me, every time I play them, they've got this that always just works. And for a guy like me, a little older, I'm 48 now, but going on 26. But there's this rhyme to it, and if you listen to the background, it's just, and I can talk over it, and it's got that jive and that beat where, you know, it would kind of fit any mood, if you will. And every song I wouldn't say sounds the same, but you have that, you'll always find that different beat and that jive, and you roll to it. Where did you ever learn this? Where does it come from, bro? Because as just a white fella from Ontario, you got some skills.
Well, thanks. I think I was kind of like hit with like 3, 4, or 5 things in a row when I was young that really kind of like shaped my views on things. And one of them was hip hop music. One of them was Do the Right Thing, the movie. When I saw that, I guess I was 13, and I was like, I was so confused. That movie was like the introduction to politics for me, was Do the Right Thing. I was like, I had so many questions. I was like, why aren't these people getting along? Like I was, 12 or 13. And those two things kind of just like made me explore like the culture. So I used to watch friends breakdance. I didn't breakdance, but I like that. The graffiti thing was interesting. And then when you get older and you're a white kid from the suburbs, it's really hard to justify sort of taking on that culture as an identity or as a, fashion sense, especially. Like I started to feel peculiar wearing certain types of clothing, like I wasn't being myself. But so eventually I grew up, and the only thing that stayed was like the music. So I just kept on writing.
Kept on doing it. Oh, dude, I love it. Every song, like I've just started running again, and I put on James D. Fiore, and you can literally run. And you laugh at this, but it's true story.
No, I laugh at the fact that my rapper name apparently is exactly like my name,
or whatever.
I don't even know. I'm Odd, AWD, but some people call me the Odd Manic. Some people call me Odd Man, but it's really Odd. Is
Odd. Okay. I do like Odd Man, if I may. But
I guess you'll be one of the fuckers that call me Odd Man then.
No, I won't. I'll call you whatever you want.
Okay.
I just won't call you late for dinner, pal. All right.
Okay, Daddy. When did you start rapping?
Okay, so let's get into more of this. Your writing. Then it turns into, like we already talked about this last show, you're not really employable, but you're a fabulous writer. You start Black Ball Media, and you've written some books and stuff for things. But your latest project, and I want to really get into this and focus on it. Oh, do you want to get into this now, and then we can talk about your friend, or do you want to do your friend first and then the book? I'll give you that option.
No, the book is fine.
Okay.
So are you talking about the Bullard thing?
Yes, of course, dude. Because this is your latest project.
There's only so much I can talk about that, because it hasn't even, like, we're so at the beginning of the writing part of that. Like, we haven't even really talked to the editor yet. Like,
so let's just go with that then. Where are we? Because let's be honest, Bullard has this crazy story. For Cole's notes, for those that don't know, Bullard was an iconic talk show host in Canada. We're like coast to coast at the iconic Masonic Temple. Is that was what it was called?
That was one of those places. Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing a show live, I met Bullard back in the day. In fact, he was on my wall of fame, and then all hell broke loose for poor old Bullard, and it got swept under the rug, kind of in the media. But he got like lambasted, and his career ruined and ended.
Yeah, his he was a radio guy by then, so his show was already off the air. His TV show, but I mean, it lasted like 8 seasons, so that's a pretty good run. Pretty good. There's not many Canadian shows that even last 8 years, like
yeah.
So I want to circle back a little bit because it's pertinent. The first time I met him was also at a taping of his show when I was 20. So this is like 25 years ago or something. And it was because, remember that artist Hayden from Toronto?
Yep.
That's that like folk singer guy. I really liked him when I was young. And he was the musical guest. So, and I've told Bullard this story, so I don't feel like I'm speaking ill or anything. But I told him at Sable Beach, I was like, yeah, I didn't think like your show was good, dude. I didn't laugh at your show. And I remember making Mike Bullard jokes.
Really?
I was young. Yeah, I was like, Mike, this is like two producers were just in a bar and they were having a gentleman's elitist bet. And one guy was like, I could make anyone a star in this restaurant. And the other guy was like, how about him? And he's like, and it was Bullard. And they just made him a star. And I know why I thought that, though. The audience never seemed to be laughing at his jokes during the monologue when you watch it at home. So I was like, I don't know if a lot of people understand how much a studio audience, a live audience for a comedian, translates to a laughter at home when you're watching it on your couch. You know what I mean? Like there's almost like a contagious sort of thing when the audience on the DVD or whatever, on the Netflix or whatever laughs, you're more likely to laugh, I think, right? That's just, I don't know if they studied that, but I've always felt that way.
Well, that's why that laughter thing they put.
That's why.
I don't know.
That's the laugh can in sitcoms and stuff. Yeah. But then, so I met Bullard, and I'm actually telling him this, or no, I didn't tell him the story because he told me he was talking about all this stuff that he had issues with the production company, Inside Productions at the time, and for like 2 years he was asking for like an audience mic, and they like a one that hangs down above the audience, right? And they never gave it to him, and that's why the audience was so quiet. And what he said made sense to me because when I went to see the one with Hayden on it, I thought it was hilarious. But then when I went and watched it at home with my buddy, the audience sounded like they didn't laugh again. So I was like, oh, when I was there, they laughed. And here they sort of, everything feels like a smattering of applause at the Bullard show, like it gets the odd clap and someone going,
Why would the production team do that? Like, why would the director or anybody involved with it?
I'll tell you why. I don't know. I'm sorry. Sometimes, I'm going to speak in a hypothetical because there's stuff happening right now. But sometimes, when you have let's say a movie, and there are people that are owners of this movie, and you can put a whole bunch of expenses on your production list that don't exist, so you can take that money. Sometimes that happens in movies. Maybe that sometimes happens in TV shows. I don't know. I don't know if it happened to the Bullard show or not, but that's,
So that microphone that was supposed to hang over the crowd went into some fella's pocket. Is might be what you're saying.
Like I'm saying that like a total of possibly $2.5 million over the period of 6 years or 7 years, whatever it was.
And it gets way worse than that, obviously. And I know you can't say too much. The book's coming out, but you've spent time with Mike Bullard. What is, and like, and there's Tom Green right there with Mike Bullard. It was a big show back in the day. And Mike lambasted by the hierarchy in the upper echelon of the media. And no media would talk about it. But in James and Steve Blondell, and now you're writing a book about it. And you spent time with him. He's been at your house. You guys have met at cottages. Walk me through that experience. What is it? Does he drive you mental? Like, does he have a solid story and case? Like, what's it like?
Honestly, we're friends. Like, we're close friends now. I can't explain it at all. We act like like either a married couple, but that's what some people say because we bicker. But I see it more like the way my friendships are with my childhood friends. Like we bust each other's balls constantly.
Yeah.
If we're not busting balls, one of us is like, "You okay? Everything okay over there? Why? You haven't called me a piece of shit in at least 10 minutes. I thought maybe."
Does Bullard, and I know you've been sober for a couple of years, does Bullard drink? Does he?
No.
He doesn't drink either.
He doesn't
smoke
drink
the
or do
ganja?
any drugs.
And
he's like a teetotaler. Like he's never been a drinker. He's been drunk once in his life, and he got high on weed once in his life. And the time that he got high on weed was when he was in the police academy, and it was because the instructors wanted them to know what a suspect would be feeling when they would be arrested under the influence of marijuana.
You should have slept him some shroomy tea when he was at your place.
I can't hear you anymore.
You can't hear me? Check 1 2.
I can't hear you.
Oh, let's see what's happening. Well, I don't understand why. Check 1 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
No, but I can read your lips.
Well, let's. I'll remove you and I'll bring them back in. Let's see what happens. I don't.
Do you want me to leave and come back?
Sure. Let's see if that works. Can you? You can't hear me, Glassy. You have any idea what's going on? This has never happened, so it's kind of weird to me. We'll let James reconnect, but yeah. So we were talking about James DeFiore. He's a broadcaster 3 times a week with Dean Blundell on the Dean Blundell podcast, and I love this guy. And it's funny. At first, when we first met, and we never even met face to face. We met literally on my first ever time on Dean's show, and when I came on, James looked at me like with this. Just all these weird looks. He's like, who the fuck is this guy? Sold your house, bought a bus. What? You look weird. Yeah. He just didn't like me. And it took a while for my boy, but
I cannot hear you.
Okay,
Greg,
so
it's your Wi-Fi.
It's on my Wi-Fi. I'll resend you the link and I'll get you to
That's
join back in.
Bondzee. Bondzee, it's you. You're the Skippy one. James is fine. James, can you hear me?
What? You can hear me, Bondzee. It can't be my fault, you motherfucker. Oh, now you can't talk back to me. I can just say whatever I want. Because normally I don't.
Let me see what I'll see if I can switch.
Anyways, welcome to the James DeFiore show. I am your host, James DeFiore. We're having some technical difficulties with Bondzee. I'll be taking over the reins now, even though I can't hear shit.
Can you hear me? No?
I can't hear you either.
You can't hear me
I'm
either.
going to restart my thing. Maybe something happened.
Maybe it's you. I don't know. Oh my, I'm all by myself now. Greg, you
hi.
There
we go. Look at this. Am I back?
You're back. Yep.
I don't know what happened there. Everything was pretty solid on my end. We'll get Jamesy back in a second.
If you guys want to skip, I can throw in James's one of his tunes that he has sent me.
Yeah, let's throw up one until James gets back here.
Yeah. Here, this is
no.
Here, let's do Stems and Leaves. There we go.
Stems and leaves, thanks and please, never feed the Portuguese. Keep me out of all the drama, pretty please. I need to see a better day. Social distancing, is that the only way? I'm afraid we might be building lots of bad habits. Yo, I'm not an anti-masker, not afraid of 5G, but after all those missing flights and Jeffrey Epstein, you gotta wonder what's real, what's designed to keep me stupid. Like they reversed my tragedies and then went to.
And it sounds awesome. People say they could always hear me. There's my boy James. We're just rocking one of your tunes there, dude. Like, I love the simple.
I cannot hear you.
Flow. He still can't hear me? But everybody said they could hear me.
I have to go thrifty.
I can't hear him. Everybody, y'all can hear him, yeah?
I still can't hear you.
Check 1 2. It's the James. It's the James.
Okay.
Okay. We'll get James. We'll get him to figure
I
something out.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. We got him back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So where were we? We were talking about you and Mike Bullard. So he's never drank. He's never done any of this. He's been at your house. You guys have been writing this book. How much time have you spent with Mike, and how many chapters is this going to be, and how many chapters have you done? And are you ready to strangle each other?
I
know stories about like
I'm not gonna. Well, no, it's a difficult question because I'm not writing the chapters like fully complete before moving on to the next. So if you saw them laid out in front of you from like 1 to whatever it's going to be, like 15 or something, you would see like 30% here, 80% there, nothing there. You know, like I'm sort of doing it like that. That's my process.
Well, take me through this process because I'm intrigued. I've never written a book. So you have, like, do you have this massive whiteboard and you go chapter 1 to maybe 15, and then so you say chapter 1's only 30% done, but maybe chapter 8's 90% done?
No, I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass. Obviously, I don't know what the percentage will be until I'm done the chapter. I'm just trying to say that like I'm doing the work in such a way where I'm sort of like piecing. You know how like your download, when you used to download a peer-to-peer thing, it was taking slices of all these different people's identical files. Like I'm sort of thinking that I look at it like that. I think I said this once on the other podcast, but there was a guy in high school that visited our high school that really impacted me. And he said that writer's block doesn't exist. What exists is that writers try to write against whatever their state of mind is feeling. And in order to find a way to write something specific, you have to flush that out first and then move to that specific thing so that your brain is following your skills, whatever.
Do you agree with that statement?
It's one of those things where it's like, because, I don't believe in karma, therefore I never really notice it.
Yeah.
But people that believe in karma, they're like, oh my God, karma. Like, and then it probably feels like when something happens, that's the karma. Writer's block may be the same thing. There's a lot of people that say writer's block exists. I personally believe it doesn't. And I think it's beneficial to think it doesn't. Like I never have that excuse, that thing.
How much more time do you have left to spend with Bullard before this book's done, and when can we expect it to come out?
I don't know. I mean, my next visit with Bullard might just be a social visit and not have anything to do with work. He's a buddy. Like,
But is that time, sorry to cut you off, but that time you spend with him with no pen and paper in hand or a notebook or an iPad or whatever, are you always taking mental notes that will go into the book, James?
No, I try not to. A lot of this, most of the story is about Bullard before I knew him. So it feels like it will be kind of forced if I sort of throw in what I know about him into the past Bullard, because not only that, but he's completely changed from what he was even like a year and a half ago.
So how are you able to differentiate from that? Yeah, I know. Fuck, I know. When you're talking to him now, yeah. Don't even get me going. Is it difficult to separate the two? I guess is ultimately what I'm getting at.
It's the same guy. So one of the things that people say about Mike once you get to know him is that once you get to know him, he's the same guy on stage as he is off stage. That is the guy. Like there's no like transformation from one guy to a character on TV. It's the same guy. And that, I don't know, like you either have that or you don't, I guess, right? I can't even name anyone off the top of my head. Maybe Larry David is sort of like that. I'm not saying they're similar at all, but like looks like he's probably the same guy off camera.
And it's so true because, and I don't know, I've never met you face to face, but so many people say that they'll see me 2 minutes before the show. They'll see me 2 minutes after the show, and I'm just this calm, cool, collective kind of Bondzee, and I'm just me. But the second I get behind this stupid little thing and that green light or red light or whatever it is, people say I'm a whole different person and just shot out of a cannon for the entire time I'm on this show. And it's funny that Mike's not like that. And I'm not doing is fake or unreal because I feel I'm so real, and I feel the same out of you. So, I mean, I guess what I'm ultimately saying is Mike Bullard has just been that guy who's just always this doesn't even whether the light's on or it's off. It's just Mike Bullard.
Yeah. I mean, and he's bombastic, and he's from an older generation. He's like 64, right? So it's not like he's like, he's not hanging with the woke crowd and all that. Probably still doesn't even know how to identify electronic music, never mind anything else. Probably mixes up his medication.
Did you ever play him any of your music while you guys hang out, or what? Did you play him any of your music when you hung out with him?
Well, I practiced, right? So when we lived at South Beach together, I would just be in front of the beach house pacing and rapping for like an hour. And he would just be like, he'd come out and he'd be like, James. And I stopped and I looked up at him and I'm like, don't ever interrupt me from when I'm rhyming again. It's off limits too. I get so angry. It's like someone smacking someone across the side of the head or something, like like that would just shock you. It's like that.
While you're in a deep, it's like your meditation time.
Dude, I've almost like sent guys to the. There was a guy 2 years ago.
I still can't wrap my head around the fact that you and Bullard hang out together and you kind of get along. I just sense two such different people, but yet you're pals. It's so weird to me.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I just throw them in the pile of wacky friends that I have.
Yeah, sure. I guess
part of the pile. Get in that. Get back in your hole, Bullard.
Inside the pile.
What?
You hated me 7 months ago. Now we're pals. I'm part of the
pile. I didn't hate you. I told you what happened that day. I was like,
I know. I used that term wrongly.
I would like you to play the clip.
No,
I haven't seen this since it happened. Right now, but I'm just saying.
We will get it for the next time you're on the show, because, and let's tell everybody, James DeFiore, thank you so much for joining me tonight, folks. He filled in at last minute request. My boy Reggie had to bounce. James had messaged me a couple of days ago after I got lambasted on Dean's show, and James said, anytime you need a last minute fill in, because he does his own podcast. You can go find him at Blackball Media, Blackball Podcast with James DeFiore. And
hold on, wait, hold on. This is the intro you did. Okay, just first, I'd just like to say I'm really sorry for what's happening, because I know you really wanted to see Reggie. I'm really sorry, guys.
No, dude.
Oh, and we got James DeFiore. Hello, DeFiore. Yay.
I didn't mean
Bullard
it like
show
that.
Applause.
Stop it. And dude, you've stepped in. I think it's been a fabulous conversation.
Yeah,
and it's my first time I've had to use you as a quick fill in, and I'm sorry for the low key intro or
no, I'm just under the bus. I'm busting your balls. Did you tell Reggie that it's now called the James Storytime with James?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna tell him for sure. He's been replaced. I think every Friday it has to be story times with Jamesy instead.
Dude, I have a lot of stories.
I know you do, dude, and we're only getting started with you. And the Bullard thing is just a small. So, anyways, let's wrap it up with that. When can we expect this book? Is it this for Christmas, or are we looking 2020?
I don't know, Bondzee. Hold your horses, man. No, spring is what I'm told.
Springish. Okay.
Spring.
And you're
so
not
like
in
April,
charge
I
of
think,
that by any means, right? It's just
Pardon?
You write the book, and the publishing company is in charge of they tell you when you have deadlines and when it comes out, correct?
Sort of. No, we actually have taken quite a bit of control over the creative. Actually, what I should say is that the publisher has been really supportive of our ideas, I guess I would say. And so we're doing a really cool thing. I'll tell you one thing. We have a cool idea. Anyways, it's in the concept stage for an audiobook where he reads his parts, his chapters, I read mine. And then in the middle, we have a conversation about what happened in his life, like in an interview style, and then go to like the crescendo, the second act, climax or whatever.
I love it.
Okay. Yeah.
So what else we got coming up for James besides the book? Is this going to happen? I mean, I'm going to ask here now because I know it's been kind of a private conversation, but I know Dean's in the middle of writing his own book about eating and pooping.
I'm still not sure if that's a bit. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think he thought it was a book.
I listen, when it comes to Dean, you never know, but I wouldn't put it past him if that book comes out soon. But is there going to be a book between James and Dean. Same kind of
We're calling it James Dean.
Bullard.
It'd be great.
Yeah,
No one's
sure
going to think of anything from the past when they hear that name. I mean, I would love to do a book with Dean. I hope he would like to do a book with me. I've never really given it too much consideration. I think maybe we had one conversation once because I was like, because I said to him something like that the podcast was sort of the reason that the book exists, in a sense. Like that was the vehicle. Like, I mean, I hustled that deal. Like, I mean, like, not in a bad way either, but like, you know, I cold called the publishing company and was like, you need to give me a book deal with Bullard. And they were like, okay. And I was like, oh, shit. So that happened.
I think,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think it's going to be a fabulous story, not to cut you off, but I had to, because I'm glad you made that cold call. And Mike's story needs to be told, because it got fucking poo-pooed, bro, by everybody. And it's kind of shitty the way it happened and what happened to Mike. And I think everybody needs to know. And if there's anybody better to do it and bring it out, we all know. And there's a lot of fans that watch Dean and you on his show, but also here, and they support you, bro. And I think what you're doing for Mike and to help Mike it should be commended for sure. And I'm really looking forward to the book, and I will read it. I will listen to it, and I know everybody else will here too. So I'm pretty stoked. And that being said, there is a story to be told about Dean. And listen, the guy who was a foul-mouthed little English fella from England who came to Alberta, then went to Windsor, and then came to Toronto and literally was thrown to the wolves in Toronto. But within 6 weeks, I think, was the #1 fucking hooligan in town and proceeded to make millions of dollars. There's a story there, bro.
I used to listen to Bondell all the time. All the time.
I grew up listening to him, and that's how we...
I also grew up listening to that old man, you know? Like,
yeah, right. He is
so old.
He's like, fuck, we're the same age, so I can't
He's
even
like 3 years older than me. Oh, how old are you?
Well, I'm the same age, but he's many months older than me. I'm fresh 48 last week. He's 48, but he's he's not fresh 48. I'm fresh 48. So Dean's older.
I'm fresh 45. So you're older to me than Dean is to you. So if that makes you feel any better. Yeah. You're like Lachlan old as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he's like, wow, that guy's
the elder statesman.
He's in that 5 number. I don't even want to say that number. Listen, if I live to Lachlan's age, I'll be impressed. But God, you know, I just only hope I can get there.
It's the second time that you've referenced your own death on your podcast since the last time.
Dude, and I don't know, and it's funny.
It's not that funny.
Not funny, but James, I was golfing today, and I actually thought about my own death out on the golf course, which is my sacred ground. If I'm ever buried, my ashes have to be spread on a golf course. I don't want to be buried.
You're right. Hold on, just let me get this straight. You want your ashes to be spread on a thing that was probably built on the burial ground of ancient people. That's where is that because of the game or because of the ancient burials?
Oh, it's what you think people chucked into a wooden box in the ground on some land?
I don't know, a golf course. I don't know,
dude. That's my favorite thing in the entire world. Like, I'm sorry you can't be spread over a microphone with, you know, or a book. I would that's your favorite thing. I would assume.
Spread myself over.
Yeah, where would you spread yourself, James, if you could have that?
I would put myself into the starting point of mushroom colonies. Because I don't know if you know, and I'm going to butcher this, but from what I understand, to grow mushrooms indoors, it starts off and there's like 4 different types, and it's in this like whatever. And then eventually one of the types of mushrooms just kills all the other tribes of mushrooms and then become the mushroom that you get high from. It's dope. Like, you know.
Is it because of a volcanic ash system or whatever? So if you put your ashes into a mushroom system, will the James DeFury mushroom ash thing kill all the other mushrooms and you're going to be the best mushroom strain out there? Is that what you're telling me?
No, you'd probably need my sperm for that.
I'm never really getting out of control here. James sperm plus your DNA from your ashes will make the best mushrooms.
I don't think ashes carry DNA. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure if it burnt to a crisp, your DNA is not still like, Could I be wrong? Am I wrong about that? Get some DNA off those ashes. What?
I'm not that smart to answer that question. If ashes carry DNA, maybe one of our listeners, but I highly doubt it if they're listening to this show. But you never know. Woo. I just knocked over one computer and my phone. Good times.
I'm really sorry. Here's James D. Fury. James D. Fury. Do you really think they're listening to this show?
Dude, I didn't mean the opening like that. I'm sorry. So I'm going to have to give you the best closing ever. There's James D. Fury, a special mushrooms growing in the background. So, folks, I know I didn't butter him up.
It looks like my nose.
I made it sound like it was his funeral. But if and when James dies, he is going to have the best ashes ever. And he's going to mix it in with the sweet organic soil and some special cow shit on special farms. And you'll be able to enjoy James
special
D.
farms like the cows wear helmets.
No, not special farms like that, but special farms where cows shit special. And then we mix it in with your special DNA
German cows
stuff. Yeah.
German cows.
And then we have the best mushrooms ever on the planet, the James D. Fiore strain, and everybody gets royally fucked up forever.
Because
the world will be a better place. I can see it now. Motherfucker, for folks, you don't know, this guy takes 5. I take 1 gram of mushrooms and kind of I'm okay. Take 2 and I called my kids and thought I was going to die and going to a mental institution for the rest of my life. This clown.
Okay. Can I just point something out here? I just want to point something out. Okay.
Okay, go.
I believe that it's possible that you suffer from a psychosomatic condition where it's almost like you're able to generate the placebo effect in your body and direct it towards negative things. Because that's the common thread between the two things, right? What are the two things? The vaccine reaction and the mushrooms reaction were both completely over the top, and you were convinced. And I'm not saying that you didn't experience some stuff, but I think it was exacerbated and possibly even caused by Bondzee's powerful mind.
Now, listen, I disagree with both, and here's why. I've never done 2 grams of mushrooms in my life. I've always been comfortable with 1 and had a pretty good time. I've never had a crazy off the charts trip, if you will. But then accidentally, sort of, I took 2 grams of these chocolate mushrooms one night and then went on this worst trip because I've never had that kind of amount of euphoria drugs, if you will, in my system. Now, for you to compare it to my because listen, I've done ayahuasca too, James. I think we've talked about this, and I've been on some crazy ayahuasca trips, and I can't wait to go on some more because I think they're very beneficial. Even though the second time I ever did it, I vowed I would never touch this again because like weird shit came out of my body, physically and mentally. But after digesting it all, I thought it was so beneficial, and I can't wait to do it again. Now, that being said, I don't understand the comparison of those two things of a psychedelic sense to me getting the vaccine shot and having an adverse reaction. I do not see the correlation, bro. I just don't.
Well, the placebo effect is something that we don't know anything about, and
I hate to cut you off, and I would just
but it's mostly about the mushroom. It's mostly about the mushroom.
I never once for a second because I know people go there and they get super sick, and I'll be honest with you, James, not for one holy second was I ever scared of getting the shot, in that sense, but I was never scared of the after effects. Yeah, some people had a sore arm. My son did, who got the same shot. Some people got sick.
I think what I mean is the hesitancy, right? You even said it yourself. I had never done more than 1.5 grams before, and all of a sudden I was doing 2. So was Bondzee's mind like, I got this, or was it like, oh my god, I'm doing 2?
No, because at first I said, man up, motherfucker, and I remember having I said those exact words. Oh, okay. So the first one kicked in right when I took the second. So I was like, you have 2 options. Chuck your fingers down your throat and get rid of what you just put in, or we just write it out. And I was like, I got this. And I totally told myself, I got this. And I tried everything in the planet before that hour later where I had to call my sons and say, if you don't get over here right now, I think I'm probably going to be ended up in a mental institution.
That would never, ever happen to me because my approach with it would always run ruckshaw over the actual drugs, I think.
So, but have you?
So I was trying to say to someone else before that the 6 grams sounds like it's a lot, and for a lot of people it is.
Dude,
it's not because I built up some sort of immunity though. It's because I like outer space.
So you ultimately just go into it going, I can do 6 grams. I can do 6 grams.
No, I don't think of that at all. You're not even even close.
Scared?
What I do is take it, and then I'm like, all right, this will be interesting. Let's see what happens this time. And I'm not like, ooh, like I'm just calm.
How many grams would it take you to get to a level where you'd be like, holy fuck, I might have messed up?
I don't know if it's about the amount. I think it's about your ego and your state of mind going into it. I think that's really what it's about.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. I guess, and maybe that's what it comes down to. And I just said it. You're not scared when you take 6 grams. You're like, okay, motherfucker, let's see what you got. Whereas I took 2 and maybe, I was like, once the first one hit, and then after 2 minutes after I dropped the second one, I was like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to mentally combat that oh shit, but it didn't work, dude. It didn't work.
I feel like if someone told you just took basically a gram of shrooms, that trip wouldn't have happened, even if you did, because someone covertly gave you an extra gram, did too. That's how I feel about it.
Let's end the show on this. I would love to eventually meet you one day in I don't even know where the hell you are. In Ontario, up there somewhere.
Come to Ontario. That's for James. You'll be fine.
I will. Maybe I will do 3 grams with James and go out into the forest, and we could just have a good. I think if I was with somebody like you,
I have a living room. I have a living room and a porch. We don't need to go to the forest. I live near the forest.
But would you agree if I did the same amount of shrooms and it was just you and me on your front porch? Would I be okay?
Of course you would. You'd be surrounded by nature, and the foliage would be changing. It would be breathtakingly crisp out, and the pine cones would be surprisingly large.
And I have my old brother James.
All right.
Okay, Bondzee. Bro, that's it, dude. Thank you so much.
I will be your Richard Simmons
saving
anytime.
My ass tonight. You can fill in for fuck Reggie. It's story time with James DeFiore from now on Friday nights. Can't wait. You're the best. I love you. Look at how sexy he is, folks, with that bald head. He made me go baldy too. We're like twins now. Put your head over there. We're like twins. Come on. Twin heads activate. There we go. Yeah, look at that, folks. Yeah. I love this guy. He is awesome. It's James DeFiore. You can find him on Black Ball Media. You can also find him on that guy Dean Blundell show.
Thanks, Bondzee.
Well, yeah, you're the best. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you.
Shave that more often because you can see it. You should be able to see it.
Okay, dude, right today, look side profile. I fully went against the grain and picked it today. I'm watching you too, bro. I love that guy. That's James DeFiore. What a weapon. Well, that show took a different turn tonight, didn't it, folks? We were supposed to talk to that guy, Reggie, talk firefighting years. We were supposed to show a whole bunch of funny videos and pictures, but we just had crazy time with James. That's my new segment on Friday. Crazy time with James. Thanks for watching Bondzee Live. I am done the show. It's Friday night. I've golfed today. I'm feeling happy. I'm not going to do any more show. I'll see you Monday. Oh, you know who we got coming up Monday? Two amazing guests. Holly McEwen, entrepreneur extraordinaire. You'll love her, and you'll like her too. She's got some wonderful products out, and I can't wait to interview her. She was a lovely high school friend of mine, still is, and you'll love her. And then we've also got my boy Ben Pausland from, he owns a company called We Stay Lost. You are going to love this cat. If you're looking to go on vacation this winter, finally you can get on an aeroplane with your mask, with your vax passporty thingy or whatever, your evidence. Go travel. And you know where you should go? Fuck Cuba. Fuck Florida. Fuck Dominican Republic. Fuck Costa Rica. No, I love Costa Rica. But you know where you should go? You should go to Nicaragua. That's where I'm going soon. And you should too. We're going to have my boy on. He owns a company called We Stay Lost. He will take care of you. You want to go on a just a regular vacation? You want to go on a surfing? If you're surfing is your jam, never done it, you want to do it? You just want to go see volcanoes and cool beaches and different things in Nicaragua? Guess what? My boy from We Stay Lost, he'll take care of you. And we're going to showcase Nicaragua on Monday with that guy, and I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. You'll love it, and I highly recommend you don't miss it. Nicaragua is one of the greatest places in the world. It's a hidden gem. It's $1 beer, and it's $1 rum, and $10 steaks, $20 tomahawks. You think I'm lying? Pfft, I lived there for 3 years. I'll show you the proof Monday with my boy. We Stay Lost. Benjamin. Awesome dude. Awesome company. You'll love him. That's it. That's all. Sorry we missed Reggie. His loss, not mine. James, thanks for filling in. You're the best forever and ever. Amen. Go Jays, go. I think is it over? I'm looking at it, and we got highlights. I think the Jays won. Gwen, Fernway, Tara, everybody else, goodbye, God bless. Thanks for watching. It's Bondzee Live on Tripping with Bondzee on the Dean Blundell Network. You have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you Monday. Adios. Bondzee Live. Bondzee on YouTube.